Okay, so picture this. You plant an apple tree, you wait a painstaking 5 to 7 years, only for one late spring frost to completely wipe out your single dividend for the season. Or, maybe you've planted regular zucchini, just to watch squash vine borers destroy the entire crop from the inside out by the time August rolls around. It's incredibly frustrating, right? I mean, everyone always tells you to plant fruit trees and traditional veggies for food security. But what if I told you there are high-return, fast-yielding alternatives that absolutely crush them in both speed and reliability?
Well, welcome back, deep divers, to today's explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here. Today in our deep dive classroom, our lesson goal is actually really simple, but it is a total game changer. We are going to maximize your food yield in record time, and we're going to do it using bushes and vines rather than waiting around on fragile, slow-growing trees. We're literally going to transform how you look at your yard. So grab a pen, get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Here's a quick look at our class syllabus for today. We are going to start with fast calories, then we'll move into claiming vertical real estate, and finally we'll wrap up by looking at plant multitaskers.
All right, let's kick things off with concept number 1, fast calories, and building your high ROI assets.
So, to build true food security, we actually need to completely shift our mindset. We have to start treating our plants like financial assets. Think about it. A traditional fruit tree is basically a long-term bond. You're looking at a 5 to 7 year wait, and honestly, it's incredibly risky. One late frost, and boom, the whole investment for the year is gone. On the flip side, survival bushes are your short-term trades. Take the Nanking cherry, for example. This Asian bush cherry is an absolute speed demon. You put it in the ground, and it is just absurdly eager to produce, giving you these amazing tart, sweet cherries in just its second year. It's tough, it's drought-resistant, and it pays out almost immediately.
Now, what if you need pure energy? 2,800. That is how many calories are packed into just a single pound of hazelnuts. A hazelnut bush isn't just a plant, you guys. It is basically a garden oil well. While almonds and walnuts can take upwards of 15 years to mature, a hazelnut bush starts yielding high-fat, high-protein energy in just 3 to 4 years. And honestly, the best part? Certain hybrid varieties can literally survive minus 50 degrees Celsius winters. So while apple trees are out there splitting their bark in a deep freeze, your hazelnut bush is just comfortably sleeping, waiting to feed you.
Okay, but if we're talking about pure calorie kings, we absolutely have to talk about the Chicago hardy fig. This plant has a literal superpower called parthenocarpy. Big word, I know, but it simply means it sets fruit without needing pollination. This plant is a heavyweight champion. Even if a brutal winter freezes it completely to the ground, it's going to send up new shoots in the spring and set these sugar-dense, energy bar-like figs on that brand new wood. You are essentially growing candy in your backyard, and it just laughs at the winter cold.
So, just to recap these fast-calorie producers real quick so you can jot this down. You've got your hazelnut for that dense oil and protein, your Nanking cherry for those incredibly fast yields, and your Chicago hardy fig for deep freeze resilience and massive sugar output. These are the specific assets you want to plant for an immediate, high return on your investment.
Now, I want you to pause for a second and really think about this. If the grocery store shelves were totally empty tomorrow, how many calories is your yard actually producing today? It's kind of a sobering thought, isn't it? But don't worry, because we're about to expand your growing area significantly, and we won't be taking up a single extra inch of ground space.
Which brings us perfectly to concept number 2, vertical real estate. It's time to start claiming that unused space.
Let me let you in on a little secret that most gardening advice completely misses. Edible vines do not compete for ground space. They just claim the unused vertical real estate that you already have sitting there. Just think about the number 100. That is the number of edible fruits a single chayote vine can produce by year 2. Chayote is this amazing Central American staple. And get this, you literally just buy a whole fruit from the grocery store for under $1, plant it at a slight angle, and let it climb. Give it a sturdy trellis, and it can cover 30 feet, dropping 100 of these pear-shaped fruits. It's a true perennial in frost-free zones, meaning it comes back stronger every single year.
And honestly, vines completely bypass so many traditional gardening nightmares. Remember those squash vine borers we talked about earlier? The ones that just annihilate regular zucchini? Well, meet the tromboncino squash. This vine utilizes what I like to call the solid stem defense. Its stem is dense and woody all the way through. That means the borer moth larvae absolutely cannot penetrate it. You get this massive 30-foot climbing vine that is totally immune to pests, yielding delicious trumpet-shaped squashes just hanging right there in the air. It's brilliant.
To give you a quick cheat sheet on these vertical powerhouses, you've got incredible versatility here. We mentioned chayote and tromboncino, but there's also the cucamelon, which, by the way, produces these adorable lime-flavored mini watermelons and is practically foolproof. And if you happen to live somewhere super hot, Malabar spinach is a tropical vine that thrives and produces massive amounts of leafy greens through the most brutal summer heat. You know exactly when regular spinach just shrivels up and calls it quits.
So the takeaway here is this. Take a second and look out your window. Look at your fence right now. What is it actually producing? Right now, it's probably just holding up the sky. But my friends, that is prime agricultural real estate just waiting to be claimed.
All right, moving on to our final concept, number 3, plant multitaskers and the magic of compounding interest.
This brings us to plants that pay you compounding interest. These are the assets that give you food while simultaneously performing a crucial job for your yard. A perfect example of this is the permaculture superpower known as the nitrogen fixer. The gummy berry bush actually pulls nitrogen straight from the air and fixes it right into the soil through its roots. It is basically giving free fertilizer to any plant growing near it. And the bonus? It produces these delicious berries that pack 18 times the lycopene of a tomato. So it's a plant that feeds your soil and then feeds you as a dividend.
Or, hey, how about a plant that literally multitasks its own harvest? The scarlet runner bean is stunning. A lot of people plant it just for its beautiful orange flowers because hummingbirds love it. But it is such a brilliant multitasker. It fixes nitrogen into the soil, just like the gummy berry, and from a single $2 seed packet, you get 3 entirely different harvests over the season. You get tender green beans early on, rich shell beans in the middle of summer, and dry storage beans for your winter pantry. One vine, 3 different harvests. How cool is that?
Sometimes, though, you need an asset that plays defense. Enter the Rosa rugosa, also known as the beach rose. This is your ultimate defensive asset. It forms a dense, impenetrable thorny hedge that will stop any intruder dead in their tracks, whether that's a deer or a person. But we don't just plant it for the fortress aspect. We plant it because it feeds us. It produces these massive rose hips packed with literally as much vitamin C as an entire bag of oranges. It is a living fence that never rots and actively stocks your medicine cabinet.
Let's review these multitasking champions real quick. You've got the gummy berry feeding your soil, the scarlet runner bean offering 3 distinct harvests while fixing nitrogen, and the Rosa rugosa defending your perimeter. And we absolutely cannot forget the historic groundnut vine. This native powerhouse is amazing because it returns food from 2 entirely different directions at once. You're getting edible beans above ground and high-protein, nutty tubers below ground.
All right, deep divers, I want to leave you with this final thought experiment. Which plant in your garden is working for you instead of you working for it? A smart garden shouldn't be this endless cycle of back-breaking labor. It really should be a system of assets that continuously yield dividends for you, whether you're paying attention to them or not.
Let's quickly run through today's key class takeaways. First, it's time to ditch the fragile, slow-growing trees and start investing in high ROI survival bushes for fast, super reliable calories. Second, stop ignoring your vertical space. Turn those empty fences into vertical food real estate using climbing vines. And third, plant multitaskers that provide compounding dividends by feeding you, enriching your soil, and defending your yard all at the exact same time. Ultimately, food security is about planting smart, not just planting more.
And with that, class is dismissed, deep divers. Now it's time for you to take what you've learned today and actually put it into practice. Go look at your yard with this brand new lens. If you have any questions at all, or you want to suggest a topic for a future explainer, definitely drop those in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson with us. You can also check out the affiliate links below for some of the specific seeds we talked about today, and swing by our Fourth Wall merchandise shop to grab some awesome deep dive classroom gear. Until next time, I want you to ask yourself, if your yard isn't paying you dividends today, what are you going to plant tomorrow? Keep learning, keep planting, and keep diving.